Hello, we're waiting on Desi and then we will start the live. Just waiting on Desi. So we are finishing. 1 minute. Hello. We will start the book club discussion soon. We're just going to wait for Desi for a few more minutes before we start. But just as a reminder, we are finishing this book. It's on my Kindle. Which is The Magic Thief and the Whisper Heath. And then next week, I think we actually may skip a week because where we live, school will be starting, and both of us have kids who have birthdays next week. So we're probably going to wait just a little bit longer and maybe skip next week and do maybe 2 weeks discussions. Hello. What'd you say? I missed what you said. Oh, I thought we were starting at 8:45, not now. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I texted you and said 8:30, right? Because we had changed the time all summer. Oh, now I see it. Okay. But it's fine. If you're not ready, we can pause. I was just chatting about this week, what we will be discussing, the end of The Magic Thief and the Whisper Heath, that book, and then probably will skip next week since we both have kids who have birthdays in the middle of the week, and then also we have school starting next week. So probably we'll do chapters 1 to 16 because it's separated by 8s right now, since it is perfectly 32 chapters for the next book, which is Hunting Sirens. So there's 32 chapters for that book. So we'll probably do like 1 to 16 the week after that. Hi, Sarah. Well, are you deaf? So while we're waiting, we're going to introduce the live. Yeah, so I'm KT James, hard of hearing. Have hearing aids. They are actually off right now because it's late at night. I'm not gonna have them on anyway. But I am simcomming. Since it's a live, we want it accessible for hearing and for deaf. So I am simcomming, and then I am voice interpreting for Desiree. Hello, I am Desiree. My sign name is this. I am deaf and I am voice off. I'm voice interpreting for, yeah. So we both co-host this DEAFinitely Readers ASL Book Club. And sometimes we do live here on TikTok and discuss the books so that we're reading currently, or lots of different topics, different books that we have read before. and books that are written by deaf and hard of hearing authors, or that have deaf or hard of hearing characters, or ASL representation, like sign language representation. Because we've read a book before that was not deaf, but it was sign representing. Um, but we do want to also add that this club is for everyone. It's not just for deaf people, no. It is open. So if you're deaf, hard of hearing, if you know sign, if you don't know sign, it's fine. You're welcome. Which is why we're trying to be accessible by simcomming and having voice interpreting. So you have both, but we want to we want to show what deaf representation, hard of hearing representation looks like in the book. And I think I told you that I was a little bit disappointed about my beach read last week, right? And I actually didn't, I have put it aside for now. I'm not gonna keep reading it. I was just disappointed in the hard of hearing representation, and I just couldn't. I tried 3 times. I couldn't read it. So speaking of that, that book was actually one of the options in our voting. Uh, ooh, oh, what was the name? A cruise fling? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. A cruise fling. So, and I really struggled with this because I think it's a personal uh, problem with me because I want to support. It's a hard of hearing author. I want to support, but I just what's that English word? Yeah, just sometimes it's not. I don't know what's the appropriate word is the term returns. It just doesn't hit wow. It's just yeah. Speaking of that, the other book that we had voted in the options. So we had The Cruise Fling, Hunting Sirens, and the book that I bought. I thought maybe I would read it myself, and I was curious. Into the Drowning Deep. I'm only in maybe 3 chapters in, and it's very, very, very descriptive, like just expounded upon. I haven't met a deaf character yet. Okay, and so wait. And the reason I struggled with the book that I tried to read, uh, it was 60 pages in, there's the 3rd chapter, before she said anything about her hearing loss and her hearing aids, like nothing. And she didn't even say it. She ashamed, like she was like ashamed and lifted her hair to show her hearing aids, and I was like, oh, and okay, and there's nothing bad about a character because that is an honest, hard of hearing character sometimes. Like hearing loss, sometimes you're not comfortable with who you are. You've not accepted deaf pride, right? And that you have a trope where you can't, like yeah, suffer and read. I think my most pet peeve is miscommunication. Okay, so the last book of this author I actually read was the full book was about miscommunication. And I was like, I'm gonna try again. And is, I think how she writes her hard of hearing characters is fine. It has the representation, but for me specifically, I have a lot I want to read, and I was not comfortable with reading that because it made me upset. So I have put it aside for now. Maybe I will start it. I'll try again, but I couldn't read it at the beach. And so I put aside this one too. And then started reading on my own. What book? Chalet Love in Alaska. Okay. Is it a deaf representation? Yes, deaf character, deaf representation. It does have some sign. The girl is not born deaf. She became deaf by accident. She had trauma, damage to her ears. But understand, I don't think I like this writing. Okay, it's a little bit messy and what I don't like. Um, Eden, no, not yet. We've not started the last discussion. We actually deviated. We will in just a minute. We deviated because we've read some books that we had added and like voted for. We tried them out, and both of us are just like with those books, and so okay. So most of the beginning of the book, sometimes the author has notes, like an author note, describing about deaf culture and all of that information. And so this one and this one have it. They have it. But last week I talked about that and I didn't like how it was described with deaf culture. And this one said, thank you to hearing impaired community for helping this character. No. And then later in the book, I was reading it and I was like, okay, it's not really great book. I'll just keep going and keep reading. But the man, the character, was talking to his friend about the deaf girl that he liked her, and he said, yeah, she's hearing impaired. And she specifically told him that she was deaf. Okay, okay. Before we can like continue with that thought, that quote, some hard of hearing or deaf people use the word hearing impaired. It is not appropriate, but for hearing people to use the label hearing impaired is not appropriate. Some people identify as hearing impaired, and that's if they were raised not in the deaf community. But the deaf community has said hearing people cannot call us hearing impaired. It's offensive. Like, it's offensive. Yeah. So that's why we were like, wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. Huh. Did I leave that book at the beach and not bring it back? Oh, okay. I was gonna look and like see if it had an author's note, but I can't find the book. Maybe it's in my car still. I might have left it. I really so okay, so the interesting thing is the author, the hard of hearing author, she has a lot of blog posts that I have used when like researching how to write a deaf character. And so it's so interesting that both hard of hearing character books that I picked up, I've just not connected with. Like one, the full book was about like miscommunication. Like the entire thing could have been solved and they would have never have been not allergic, enemies, but she didn't tell him she was deaf or hard of hearing. Like, eh. Anyway, okay, comments, a lot of comments. So Bree said, what is the book in the picture? I think this is an artist. Is 58 Creativity, or are you talking about this one? So Desi's is an okay, this one is The Magic Thief and the Whisper Heath. This was July's book pick to read for the Definitely Readers Club. We are finishing it tonight, discussing. So this book has a hard of hearing. I would say he's hard of hearing, not deaf. Hard of hearing side character. It's the brother. His name is Leo. He has hearing aids. He uses some sign. And in the next book, he is going to be more of his book from what the author has said. So this is the first book, and they will have a second book. We don't know when it is. Now I think I emailed Effie about setting up an interview day, but it'll be the middle of August. Um, I haven't checked my email in like 2 days, so it's been busy at work. Anyway, the next book. So I have already read this book. I really enjoyed it. Technically, it's the second book, but each story is like standalone. You don't have to read one to understand the other. This I was not expecting a lot from it, and I tabbed it, and I don't normally do that, which means I really enjoyed it. So I thought it had really good deaf representation and sign language representation. It is not ASL, just that. It is their sign language. So, yeah, a sign language. I haven't started reading it. I'm on chapter 2. Okay. So far, I really like it. I really like the author's note. Yes, it was really good author's note. Yes, very clear. Um, I liked how descriptive of her writing. It is very clear. It's very easy to understand, and it's pictured what is around her. Now, she mentioned on TikTok that she specifically did that there is no sound in the book because the main character is deaf. So she doesn't hear sound. So she'll see people like, wince or whatever because they hear it, but it never says that like a boom happened. It doesn't use that word or whatever. Yeah, but it's all observation, observing it. What's around her. So I'm excited, but we're going to talk more about that one in August. Yeah. So now we need to finish this one. Um, we were reading chapters 43 to 51, right? I'm gonna let you catch us up this time. Last time I almost forgot all of this important things. Girl, you know how hard it is to simcom? Okay. Okay, so The Magic Thief and the Whisper Heath. So this story is about really three characters. You follow three people. Um, you have Olivia. She's hearing. She is the sister to Leo, who is hard of hearing and has hearing aids. And then the last character is actually Faye, and her name is Devani. They call her Dev. So in the beginning of the book, like you meet the characters, and Dev talks about going to the Iron Realm, and because she likes to like watch humans, and she has made friends with Olivia and Leo, and they're going out and they're partying. There's a few times that Leo doesn't understand because he's hard of hearing, and that's specifically mentioned. And then at the end of the night, Olivia goes with one of Leo's friends to just, I guess, hang out. And then Leo and The Magic Thief and the Whisper Heath by Effie Laroe. And Dev sleep together. And Dev, she breaks a rule, not rule that she has to about staying overnight in the iron world, the human world. Anyway, at the same time, Garrett, who is the friend that Olivia is with, they go to where his dad is buried, the cemetery, and they call her a crazy woman, is like screaming at Garrett there. And it like they try to escape and like run, and they're in the woods. She unalives Garrett and then uses Olivia's hand to unalive herself, um, with this crystal that stains blue Olivia's hand. This is the first book. Um, so and it stains the magic in her hand. So when this happens, a knight from the Fey realm like gets Olivia and like drags her to the Fey world. There, and she has no idea what is going on, what is happening. She's kind of just like it's not stuck, but she's just like she's shocked, and she's just like, what is happening? She has no idea. So Devaney and Leo are together in a hotel. They don't know what's happening, and then Olivia is kidnapped and taken to the Fey realm. And she's naive, right? Uh, and she's very gullible. She says her full name to this like evil queen, who now that she has her name controls her. Um, and like the book is very descriptive about smells. Like everything is about smells to the point where sometimes it makes you feel a little bit sick reading about those smells. So, um, Olivia is basically like she's like a criminal now, and so she is in with the queen. She has to do what she says. Um, and they think because they think that she unalived the princess. Okay, pause. There is four major courts there. You have winter, spring, summer, and then autumn. And then they also have like smaller courts. I don't know. I don't remember all the names. There was a lot. There's four. So there's four big, which were like the seasons, and then four small in the same areas. So you have spring, autumn, winter, and Jado, Balmore. Okay, Desi's gonna look it up. Foscor. And so, one second. Yeah. Okay. So so now she is a prisoner, and at the same time, Devaney goes back home to the Fae world, and we find out that she is like trying to lead a rebellion, um, because she's a princess of summer, and she's trying to like lead a rebellion against the the rich, right? Like, that's really what it's about. Is she doesn't like that her people are poor and wants to help, and so she's leading a rebellion with some of the people who have been like exiled and that kind of thing. She exiled and that they've been punished. She has a like a partner, Tav, that we meet, who is fine. Has like I guess they have an open relationship. And then we have so she goes back and she hears a few like whispers about the prisoner, but doesn't know that is her like best friend, human friend, Olivia. Doesn't know that. And then why does she go to Olivia's house? Oh, she was trying to look for something and she met a person and they told her that where the human is from, and then she brought her to her house and she was like, oh yeah, the portal room, oh this room, yeah, and she knows it's Olivia's, right? So she realizes that Leo might be in danger, and so she goes and kidnaps Leo and like takes him to the Fey realm. And understand that the time is different between the worlds. It's two, three. I think it's just weeks. It's like 3 weeks. I think it's about a month. Yeah, well, 3 weeks is almost a month. So like one night is like 3 days, maybe more. It just depends in the Fae world. Like it's one night. Like the time is different. Um, so she goes and gets Leo, and she tells him she realizes, ugh, like now I've ruined his life. Like he can never go back. Like since he's here now, he can't like go back to the human world. Um, but she can't stay because she's a princess of summer. She has to go back to her home, or her mom, who's not nice, like might unalive her. The way, like, the stories about like how like Fae are like cold and they're just like unfeeling, they're very like ruthless. You've heard like stories about like how like Fae can be like they're thought about like they're ruthless. Desi? That's exactly how these Fae they are. Like they are awful. Like they unalive each other or their daughters or their moms or their dads. Like it's just um so she goes back, and then Leo has no idea what's happening. He is now with like Devaney has left a Flena, who is a bird woman, with him to take care of him. And understand, Leo is hard of hearing. He has hearing aids, and he's in a magical world, and he doesn't have this. No, no, no. He doesn't have any hearing aid batteries, right? And so he takes them off. But it said he didn't want to talk to the bird woman. And then also he didn't want to use all of his batteries. That was a funny part. Now we're back to Olivia has a one night stand with Rain. Did we find out who Rain was? I don't remember finding out who Rain was. One second. Someone asked us, Rabbit said, this is the same group that runs the deafblind youth group. No. So we're only called Definitely Readers, ASL Book Club. We discuss books um, that have deaf and hard of hearing authors or books that have deaf and hard of hearing representation. Yes. Okay. Well, I'll help you. So now, uh, Olivia's getting up to the Fey world. She doesn't know what's going on. I did not unalive them. Doesn't matter. It doesn't. So we're gonna punish you. And so they cut her hair, pulled out her hair, did some awful things that she suffered through. And then Devaney is just like, Leo, your sister is in danger. We have to go. Let's go. And Leo's like, what? I don't know what's going on. So they go to the Fey world and all of this, and they have magic and weird animals and what? So now she's just like, you have to hide. We have to hide you. You're illegal here. There are some things happening, so I'm gonna hide you. And this woman, Felina, and Leo is angry about it. And he does like Devaney. They did sleep together. He thought it meant more. And then he found out that Devaney and Tav are actually together, and he's just like, excuse me. He got his feelings hurt. He got upset. And then so I was hoping we would find out who Rain. So Olivia, she went to a party. She had a one night stand with a guy, man called Rain, because well, she called him Rain because he smelled like rain or petiture. I don't know how you say that word. Which they had a ball, a party. So every time she is mentioned, the longer that she's in this world, she starts to feel different. So she is changing a little bit. It's never mentioned that she's going to be 100% Fae. I don't think she can, but she's half and half now because like her eyes are now the Princess of Spring's eyes because she has that magic in her hand. All this to say, the Queen Seraphine, who is the Autumn Queen, who is evil, she's bad, she tells her she has to go to the spring court and spy on the king there. So they're going, and we see the Whisper Heath, the Whisper Land. Um, Her blood is like spilled and I guess makes it grow. But before that happens, they go to like court. Um, we forgot to add two important knights. Oh yes, that were with her. So the queen sent them with her. And oh, one other thing we did forget. Everything in the Fae world can be traded. So that. But the knights that are there is Lysander and Alaris. I like Alaris, but that's my personal opinion. Um, oh, and okay, so we do find as they're traveling to the spring court, we Kark, who is like a ferret kind of animal. I don't know. He can grow or he can be like tall or small. I don't know. He's funny. I think he's the comedic like relief. But we find out that um what is the word? What does he do? He tells like people like where to find Olivia and Alaris. Like he gives them up, the people who are searching for them. Um, yeah. Right, but we never find out who hired him yet. We don't know. And so, but I think he's starting to like them too. Thank you, Heather, on the word for rain. But yes, so they went to the council. Um, And like I guess it was like why they told the queen, why are you hiding this human girl? She unalived a princess of spring. Blah 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 blah. And they gave her to the spring king to decide what to do. So it's interesting. So when she arrives at the spring court, I think like something was wrong. Like that king only seemed to like care about what attention got him. So like he was not upset about his daughter or his wife. His wife had unalived herself because of being upset about the daughter. I agree with you, Hope. I agree with that. Yeah. Um, Okay, so before we go spoil the ending. Yeah, before we spoil the ending. I think we missed a part or skipped a part. One second. I am curious how people felt about the ending. So on chapter 44, the background story, excuse me, the background story of Kark. You stay, I'm gonna go here. Um, and he goes to, I don't remember the name. He was commenting about the background. Before he was nice and funny, but now he has become more like a spy, trading. So trading information, that kind of thing. And he fell in the wrong group of people. Have a row. Thistle Witch. The Kelpie horse. Oh yeah. So he met his old boss, and his old boss says, I know you know where they are. And he's like, my comment, I said, oh, wait. Did Kark sell out Olivia? Yeah, he did. I said, oh no! And then we find out that the music, the magic thief, they talk about, oh yeah, you know the song about the magic thief and the Whisper Heath, the story. And now we finally understand the last. It said the magic thief smells like bones in the deep. For the sun dissolves and the moon dissolves, blue spot will build your tomb. Gravel black, chase the hollow, and promise of death will follow. So, I think that is foreshadowing for what will happen next. And then after they finish and they go to give the supplies and say that we need to go to the next town for more. So they go, they're walking to the house and they knock. And it's funny, I liked that character, that squirrel. She's like beating on him. What are you doing here, Kark? You are not me, but I'm busy right now. And like Olivia's like, what? And they're just laughing. Yeah. So the squirrel did welcome them into her home, and they finally agreed to stay the night. Alaris bought some clothes for Olivia, which was sweet. But before that, he put her to sleep. And that was important because the more you do that, the more that you will feel like hallucinogen. So she had some weird dreams about Alaris, and it was important information to know. And then she dreamed both of them were alone, and everything was like chaos and the Whisper Heath. And then they kissed. That was it. It was not a long dream. But she woke up, what did you dream about? Nothing. I honestly, I don't even know if I would say that that was a lie about it because I don't like, she just didn't tell him. She didn't want to tell him, but she didn't specifically say, like, I mean, she did lie, but I just feel like that kind of lie was different, which is interesting. So you know that she's not fully like Fae because she can still lie. And the Fae can't lie. They can manipulate, but they can't like lie. Why not tell the truth? Well, what is she gonna tell him? Oh, I dreamed that you kissed me. Why would she tell him that? They weren't like together. They're not like romantic right now. Yeah, but I think it's trying to be nice if she had told him what happened and he could go, okay, so this will be coming true in the story, but she decided to make a different plan. I'm gonna fool him and all of this. So for at one point I was like, no. Okay, so if you like right after you met your husband, you're just hanging out and you have a dream about him, and like you had one night of like a date, right? We'll say one date night, and you dreamed about him and you kissed him in the dream, and it was just a little bit of a wild, like a wild dream. And he said, hey, like, do you have a nice night? Like, did you have any like fun dreams? Would you tell him, yeah, I dreamed that we kissed? Would you have told him? No. My point is, he is very, very asking her questions. Why? So I think he's asking questions because he knows the more that he uses that dust thing, the dreams will happen. And so he's making sure that he's not used it too much, maybe. I don't think it's bad. Like, I honestly don't think that Alaris is bad. I'm really hoping that Alaris is actually Rain. That was my thought too. Okay, so we do not find out at the end who Rain is. She sees him one more time, but we don't know. And then also in this part, we forgot about the Kelpie, the horse, the Kelpie horse. We forgot to talk about that. That was before the squirrel house. We talked about that last week, yeah. Oh, yeah, Alaris speaks Creek. That was funny. But they did mention hearing bells. Okay, which and Kark said it too, that he heard the bells, not Alaris, which means that they're addicted to that dust stuff, right? Like, because Alaris didn't hear the bell, but Kark and Olivia did. Does that mean that they are now addicted to the dust or they've used it too much? Shimmer. Shimmer. Thank you. So the funny thing is we watched an episode of his dark. The shimmer powder is addictive and it will kill you when you start hearing the bells, right? I don't remember. But I do remember he said, do not follow the sound. You will die. Um, so we, my house watched his Dark Materials like one episode tonight. It's called Dust there. And so that's just like in my head. Okay. Shimmer. Yeah. So the squirrel house, and they leave it. She is designing dresses for the king. And then you said Alaris bought one for Olivia because she didn't have any clothes because the queen, and they finally do mention the ribbon, the black ribbon. Okay, so that's where it came from. Um, he gave her the clothes and the ribbon. And then they arrive at the spring court. But before they arrive, so we so we do have the Ivy King and the Queen of Summer, so Devaney's mom. They are talking about what are they gonna do. Oh, before that, well, we ended, the Whisper Heath came alive again and was trying to like, yeah, and take over the cities and different courts. Um, so the Ivy King, who is, I guess, like the most powerful of all, because he is old and he has lived a long time, and it said that he is the didn't it say he's the father of the winter and summer like courts, right? Or created, he created, did he make it? Okay. And then the spring and the autumn came later. But anyway, so he's old, he is the most powerful, and he's blind if I remember right. But he is discussing with Devaney's mom what are they going to do about the Whisper Heath, like spreading out. They don't want it to get their land, and so he find out that the way to stop it was to like sacrifice Olivia, right? All like her bones to stop the spread of the Whisper Heath. And this is not the first magic thief. So my notes said the Ivy King and the Queen of Summer are getting together. How can we do this? And they're commenting. They say this happened 2 times before. The thistle, the thistle witch, the magic thief, yeah, said the thistle witch was first, is the mother of before the humans. And then, yeah, and she messed everything up when she came into this world. And then fell in love, got mad, and when she was buried and died, her broken heart. Could Alaris and Olivia be one to break the spell? Don't know. And then the second thief became crazy. Came integrated with the Heath. They unalived him. Yeah, yeah. His bones and body are in the land, the heath. So, and Olivia is the third one. Well, if you remember, if you remember, the princess, before she unalived herself, she said, we should have never taken this. Wait, whoa. I'm having a little bit of goosebumps. What if that princess is Olivia in the future self? Oh, because she said that. And then that becomes like her madness. So maybe a warning by Olivia. Am I going too far? I don't know. Um, well, then that would mean that the King Ember is her dad, but he wants to marry Olivia. I'm confused. Eden said, you know Garrett too. Oh, but how did Garrett like leave her? So she was supposed to marry the Spring King, Olivia, right? Spoilers. Ooh. When they arrived there, oh yeah, he wanted to marry her. So if he was actually not happening to marry, what if she marries Ember? No, I felt like the Ivy, no, did the Ivy King actually die? Because he kind of replaced the Spring King, because she said he didn't look the same as before, and then he died there. Are they gonna say that she unalived him too? And so the ending did have a lot of open questions that we have no idea of what happened. It was more than one like cliffhanger at the end. So I know specifically we don't know about who is Rain. I'm stuck on that. Who died at the end? The Ivy King or the Spring King? Will they be able to stop the Whisper Heath from like spreading? Where's Leo? Where's Leo? I feel like so Alaris was made to do one more job, and so he left, and she was upset about that. She gave him half of her black um, ribbon, so she has half, he has half to use, which was really sweet. Lysander popped back up. It was like, I'm loyal to the blood of spring. But she has spring blood in her, so maybe she really is Princess Emberly or whatever her name was. Um, yeah, does Olivia's story end? Like, is it done or will it continue? We don't know. Eden, I agree. Back up a little bit. So understand, right before where they arrive at the spring, the Ivy King and plots with Fauna, fa, what is her name? Fauna? I don't know. The Queen of Summer is her name. So both say they need to do forbidden magic, portal magic. So they slice open their arms and they're bleeding, and you see it becomes a monster. And then at the same time, the Spring King is taking a bath, and he sees that that part was a little bit like, like blood, and it got him, yeah, and replaced him, we think, with the Ivy King. The Ivy King is Ember, yeah. So he's acting a little bit weird. But so does he want to get the magic from Olivia? Is that why? Is he trying to steal it back? And that's why, because he's going to marry her and then unalive her and then steal the magic back to maybe live longer because he's sick? Maybe he's sick because he keeps stealing magic. There's a lot of like theories that he's pretending. There's a lot of theories you can do, like, because we don't know what's happening. So he's pretending to be, I'm going to marry her, and then he unalives. That was after he ordered Alaris to go away. And she chased after him, but hold that moment. If the Ivy King is the one who ordered him to go and do this other task to be satisfied with your jobs. He goes off, and then he immediately dies. Should that break the spell? It's not really a spell. The order, maybe. The control. But was he controlled? I don't feel like he's really controlled. Not like when the queen used her full name. I didn't feel like the same thing. Oh yeah, he does. He points to Kark. That was funny. I want to marry her, and Kark is like, me? No, you don't. That's funny. I did like when she just was like, never mind, and she is looking, Alaris, where are you? And she was upset and thought he was gone, but Alaris heard her and came back. And then who pops up? Lysander. Lysander, whatever his name is. Yeah, I can't do that on my notes. Did the king actually die? She found Alaris. I was hoping she would tell him how she felt, but she just gave him half of the ribbon. And then he gave her a special dagger, yeah, and said, do what you must to survive. I still think he's Ray. I think so. I think there's a, okay. Because I've noticed when he is with the queen, he's very, very silent. With Olivia, he talks more. Yeah. I said I have so many questions. Where's Leo? Will Alaris be free? Will Olivia be the one who frees him? I don't trust Lysander. What happened to the rain? There's so many things unanswered. Yeah. So it's really an open ending. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? Oh, oh. Yeah, she did see rain for a short, but he was with Winter. And that is Alaris's, maybe it's his brother, maybe they're related. Uh, Hope said she doesn't want Alaris to be Rain because she doesn't want their first time to be, well, but Olivia knew he had a glamour on, right? So will it be a love triangle if she really has like lust for Rain and then she falls in love with Alaris? Will it be a love triangle? I don't know. We didn't prefer the ending. There was just too many open questions, like what happens next. But I think what will happen in the story first, and this is the second one, the book will become mad because he falls in who? The witch, yeah. Oh, so Olivia will become mad since she falls in love, oh, with Alaris? Oh. So remember at the very beginning I said maybe the monsters because there are, there's the Fae and then a few other like kinds of people there and then there's the monsters. I felt like the monsters were actually humans that have for prisoners there. Yeah, they were humans. Yeah. She said one monster she met was before a human. What was her name? I liked that character. The one that was washing. Ooh, the blood uh gems. I don't remember her name. It's been a long time like since I finished the book. I read it before, yeah. She was not human, but she became a monster, yeah. Heather, have a good night. Thank you for joining. We'll be soon done. I think we are, so like pause on the ending. We're gonna skip next week. If we do something, it would be after school starts here, which is the 7th. So we're probably gonna do the week after, and we're gonna do 1 to 16 for hunting sirens. Um, which oh, that's kind of long. Hmm. Is that too long? Do we just need to do 1 to 8? They're easy ch read, like easy chapters. We'll play by ear because I know some of you are busy with moving, with work. So if you feel like 16 is just too much, just let us know. And we'll stay with 8. 1 to 8. Yeah, but good night. Tansier. Yes, Tansier. Oh. Ah. A glamour, will a glamour change your smell? I think some can, but no. I didn't realize that. Okay, so rain is not hilarious. And also, funny story, my daughter wanted to brush my hair. My hair is curly, so it's interesting tonight. It's fun. Yeah, so Effie Laroe is the author. She already has the title for the second book. Do you remember? The Magic Thief and the Oath to Keep, right? Isn't it the Magic Thief and the Oath to Keep? We'll find out more when we have the interview with her. Oh, sorry. Mary Meacham. It's on Kindle or an ebook. I don't think it's Kindle Unlimited. Oh, okay. It's Kindle Unlimited. Okay. Um, and then there's a physical book and does have an audiobook too. So we have all 3 options. I think I saw it in my library here, but I don't know where you live. But yeah, so it has the Kindle price, I think, is $5. And then if you don't have Kindle Unlimited. But so it's very easy read. And one thing to remember specifically, and the author says it at the beginning, that all the signing will be shown as italics. Yeah, well, we like that. We love a good, clear illustration of which one is signing and which one is spoken English. So that reminds me. This one doesn't show it. Well, the cruise fling one doesn't have signing. Oh, and also it had a surprise pregnancy trope. And they knew each other for 9 days. It's a cruise. They met on a cruise. I was just laughing. Okay. I'm trying to cut that. So this one does have ASL, but it's not really shown and separated as sign. She signs a lot, but I don't like how it's not shown separated from English, spoken English, and you have sign. So and like I don't mind not reading like gloss, like not having it like gloss or ASL grammar is fine. I don't care if it's not ASL grammar. I just want to see that signing is slanted or um, is in Italian or has quotes, and then English, spoken English should be slanted. I want it's a different language. And most books, when you're showing a different language, will be shown differently. Yeah, I don't want to wonder if they're signing or not. Yeah, huh? Oh, oh, okay. So Effie just commented about some of us are right about things. Hmm. But now I'm curious, what are we right about? There was a lot that we discussed. She's not gonna tell us because it's gonna spoil the second book. Um, and Jeddah, it's Marymecham. It said, Effie, we have so many questions, girl. That ending has so open. What happened? Why did Alaris have to leave? What happened to Leo? Oh, and who was the guy that Flena was with? Who was that? Yeah. Hey, Effie, if I've not emailed you, I can't remember. I will email you tonight to give you a few days and you can choose and let us know. I think I forgot. It's been a busy few days. Not weeks. It's been a busy week. And my emails have just been, yeah, I know. Like I'm trying to read the comments, but they're like not like on my iPad, they're not like showing up. And so I'm on my computer too, and I'm trying to read the comments. Oh, I need to know. You're not gonna be able to answer this, but is that crazy woman in the woods Olivia in the future? Oh, because time is different. So hopefully we can get to see more of Leo, Devaney, Devani, I don't know how you say her name, her story, Olivia, and Alaris. And hope he comes back in the second book. And we find out more about the rebellion. What will happen? Will people stop being traded? Because like all the services are traded, anything can be traded. Hopefully, maybe that will stop some of that. Guess we'll see. Effie said, "Ooh." Okay. So finally, this is wrapping up this book. Finally, it was a good read. We hope you all enjoyed it too. And if you haven't yet read it, or if you haven't given questions for the author, please go to the Discord channel, comment the questions, and we'll type them up and send them to her so she can prep for it. Or we'll also be emailing the normal ones we typically like to ask about. But we'll add yours, and it's like called, I think it's author questions, I think is what the title of the channel is in the Discord. If you've not joined the Discord, you can get it there. You know where. You know where to go, or you can go to www.deafinitly readers.com. DEAFinitelyReaders.com will also have, sorry, um, where you can join the Discord. We do have Fable. We don't normally use it. We'll keep it like we will change the book out, but we preferred Discord. If you have any like questions, or if you have any, if you're an author and want, deaf sensitivity readers, hey, you now know two people who can do it. I had hoped to have my book 2 betas by August. Yeah, that's not happening. My work blew up. My day job blew up until the middle of August. I will be busy, 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 busy. So maybe it'll be September. We'll see. Keep our fingers crossed. On the website, we do have a list of books that we do have book recommendations, which we need to discuss, because for me personally, I don't want to remove the hard of hearing Laura Brown, the hard of hearing author that I tried to read twice, because we want to support, and maybe another person can relate to that character. So I'm going to keep them, but I'm not going to keep reading them myself because it made me upset to read that kind of thing. That's a personal opinion, but I will leave them. They're available. I probably will add some notes like on it that says like, so the hard of hearing character who is not signing or something. Good idea. I will try to finish this one and that. So that one, is it like a Christmas book? No. It's more like, it's not a holiday book, no. It's like going to Alaska. Someone is hurt. They were in the hockey team and they go for themselves to like analyze. It's not a holiday. Okay, but if anyone knows a holiday book that has deaf representation or written by a deaf hard of hearing author, let us know. We can't find one and we want to do one. Yeah, fall, cozy, Christmas, nothing. And I know you can say, just write it yourself. That's fine, but that's not this year. I can't do it this year. Like maybe I could do like a 10,000 word book, but not like release. It would be like a PDF. Ooh. Will we have time? No. I don't know. I'm scared to like promise that right now. Hmm. Maybe we could do a writing with the group on Discord and we make our own holiday book. Maybe. That sounds fun. We can do like a challenge, writing challenge. We can make a channel. We will discuss this off of here. But that would be a fun little thing. And then Desi could sign it and I can voice interpret while she reads it on live or something. There we go. That'd be cool. Huh. That's something we were gonna think about, and we'll try to set it up. Because honestly, like last year, that's why we didn't do a book in December, is because we couldn't find one. Like we both searched for 2 months and like I started looking last month and I still can't find one. That's a holiday, cozy, autumn, winter read that has hard of hearing, deaf representation. Hopefully, we'll find one. But right now, uh, we do have more representation out there. We're seeing it. So hopefully, we'll see. So that would be a fun little challenge to do. I'm going to think how I can set it up. Let's think about that. We'll figure that out. I think it sounds cool. Yes. Your your username is funny. The petty X. Your username is funny. Yes, you would think there would be more. Um, no, no. Um, that was the perfect silence, right? No. We already read that. Um, you would think there'd be more, but looking back now to like from like when we were growing up to now, there is a lot more. And it is hard. So before what, 2010, most like indie authors you couldn't really find because like social media wasn't a like thing to see and like support because like this is an indie author like and it's really good and I would have never have read it in 2010 like before that because I wouldn't have known. So we're finding more now. Yes, social media has helped that, but it's really hard to get like trad books. Like the one I remember, the two I remember is um Sweet Valley Twins. Won't someone help Anna? That had a deaf character and a coda. And the Babysitters Club, uh, Jessie's Secret Language. She's not deaf. She was learning sign for a friend, if I remember right, that story. Those are the only two I remember growing up. Like now we there were some adult books, like it was like a detective book, kind of thing, mystery. Not most of them were romance. That's a newer thing. Most of them were mystery kind of books or horror, um, children's books mostly. Yeah. So like picture books, not young adult. Your Welcome Universe released in what, 2005, right? 2005, right? Your Welcome Universe. Oh, that was a good one. And Song for a Whale was early 2000s too. 2010, I think. But those are like, yeah. So before the last few years, you couldn't find books. Now we found more. We found more. Also, the most we find that have representation, they're mostly hearing authors. We're open to that, but we're hoping there is more deaf or hard of hearing authors that write because we think some are a little scared to write. And honestly, before So now you see more authors doing sensitivity readers. So if you're deaf, you have like a deaf sensitivity reader, a person of color, a POC, like sensitivity reader, like an LGBTQIA sensitivity reader. You see that now. And that really started in 2020. Really, before that, maybe you would have it now. It's not required, but honestly, if you don't have one and it's not noted that you did have one and you have characters in your books that you don't personally relate to or have experience with, but so like she's hearing. I love this book. She had she had two or three. She had a lot. She said like um, she has seven sensitivity readers. So like you don't have to do that many, but like she specifically like went to the deaf community and like visited and had sensitivity readers like, and that's why I think that the representation was so good. I'm so excited to talk about this. Well, I'm on chapter two. I'm only on chapter two. Okay, calm down. So the funny thing is I've already done a review for this book, right? And it was funny because I couldn't sit because I was just so excited when I finished it. Um, and the funny thing is I had that book for almost 6 months, and I was just like, I'm gonna wait because I had like the last mermaid book that had a deaf character we hated, remember? And so I like, yeah, so I had PTS, a little bit of PTSD on that. Anyway, but it's fine. It's perfect time. Yeah. So, yes. So, do you have one that you've read before? Yes. So, on my TikTok, I have book reviews, and on my YouTube, I have book reviews that I've already read. I don't do everyone, but most of the time, if it has a hard of hearing or deaf representation, I will review it, like an ASL in English book review. I also will do a written English on my blog. But on our Definitely Readers website, if we've read it, it's bolded in the list. Doesn't say what we think about it because we want you to decide if it's not a good representation. So, and that's why I wanted to explain why I was going to keep the hard of hearing authors, because it's not really a bad representation. It is a common hard of hearing experience to not want to show your hearing aids, to not want to talk about your hearing loss. That is a common experience. Is it a good one? No. It took me 15 years to have deaf pride and be proud that I have hearing loss and that I'm in this community. Not everyone feels the same way. It is a hard of hearing author. This is her experience in the books. So I'm going to keep that book. Did I personally relate to it? No. Do I want to read that? No, because it reminds me of my like past. It reminds me of what, how I felt before, like growing up in high school, and I don't remember. I don't want to think about that. I already write about it. I don't want to read it again, right? But other people might enjoy seeing that kind of character. But if the representation is bad in that they say she's deaf, but she can hear everything happening around her, no. We delete it off the list because it's not one we want you to suggest that you read. Or if the book that shows like criticism or deaf, like negative light, yeah, like oppression and like odd, like autism, yeah, that we typically delete it off the list because we don't want to promote that kind. But again, this specific author is hard of hearing and this is her experience, and it is a common experience. And it's okay if you don't like the book, right? Yeah, yeah. I didn't like one or two books that I've read last year, but we noted that we've already read it. If on my book reviews on like YouTube or TikTok or wherever, or English, I explain more about the representation and how I feel about it. And I will be very honest. I love the author Sarah Novick. I don't know how you say the name, but which is True Biz is the one most people know them for. The other one is Girl at War. This one does not have a deaf character. That book is better. I like that one better, personally. I did not like True Biz. That was a personal opinion. I did not like it because it felt very preachy. It felt like it was aimed to hearing people, and it was a lot of like inserts about like a specific sign or a bio part, and I did not like it. But their like activism in the community I love, and I follow them, and I did like Girl at War. So did I read it? Yes. Is my review great? I said I didn't like it, but I said it had really good representation. So like, anyway, for example, for this club, we've read this one. Oh, Silent House. Oh, you you gave it. I didn't give a review. I wasn't negative. I just said I didn't like the person. Oh, but that was an interpreter. So that was interesting. Yeah, it was negative light on interpreter. And it was a good story. It was a good idea, a good concept. Yes. And it had full many deaf characters. And the community is there and it's great, actually. The deaf community was good, but the negative light on the interpreter, and I couldn't see past the interpreter's character and what she was doing, the boundaries that she was crossing in her job, and it was very unrealistic for me. I just couldn't really enjoy it. Oh, that's a great way to say it. The hard of hearing, like authors, like representation of that character didn't feel real to me. I couldn't relate. But yes, so I did like The Silent House, but I didn't read it as an interpreter like thought. Like I was reading specifically for the deaf representation, not interpreter. And then the second time that I read it, I was like, oh, so I did not review it again. My first review said like 4 stars or 4.5. And now I did have to change it. It would be more like 3 stars because the deaf community and representation is great, but the interpreting representation. And that interpreter would have been fired so fast here. Yeah. And blacklisted. Yeah. And like we actually discussed it with a few of our interpreter friends, like because we have a book club here too, and it has interpreters in it. And we were discussing it, and they were like, wait, what? No. They're like, it was very interesting to hear their feedback. I was curious, and this situation happened to you, what would you? And they're like, I would instantly back out of this and quit this job. Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. Oh yeah, it is a series. This there are multiple situations, and it's the same character, and she becomes more like a cop, like an investigator that also is interpreting. And I don't want to read that. So I've not read the next two after that second time that we read The Silent House that I read it. I was like, anyway, that was a lot of information that you probably didn't want. So sorry. She did not get punished or disciplined for being involved with the case. Well, but she was not working with the company. She was in like individual contractor. But she was very much emotionally involved. I'm not like disagreeing with that. Like it was a bad like light. Like yes, it's negative. Anyway, yes, we review the books on our TikTok, YouTube, whatever website. And also, it is noted if we've read them. Yeah. Oh, I understand that. Yeah. Um, the daisy chain reaction was really good. That was really good. They just released the audiobook. Um, Now, I will note that signing is not shown in italics in this book. That's going to change. She's going to release it again. But it very specifically says that Violet, one of the characters who's deaf, she never speaks. Like she only signs. So when they're around, they only sign. So you understand that. Quiet Beautiful Things, if you want romance, is really good by Samantha Christie. So we were actually sensitivity readers for this book. That one was really good. A hard of hearing that I personally did like was A Game Most Foul by Alison Gervais. It's a hard of hearing character, and it's recent hearing loss. So she is learning to accept her hearing loss. And Allison, the author, is hard of hearing herself. That was a really good book. It was okay. Yeah, Dust. It was okay. Um, there was a lot of language deprivation. Language deprivation in this, and so maybe not. The author is she called herself half deaf, partly deaf, and that's an interesting term, but it was like the representation was pretty good, honestly. Um, I've not read it, but I'm excited to. Oh, Mooncakes. So Mooncakes was good. It's cute. It's a hearing author. Mm, not sure if it has sensitivity readers. It was like 2012, 2011. I'm not sure. No, I think it's hearing. Yeah, it's a hard of hearing character. That was really cute. It's a graphic novel. So it's a graphic novel. Um, I've not read it yet, but Secrets Don't Stay Buried is by a deaf author, JD Mills, and she actually got sensitivity readers too. Um, excuse me, they actually got sensitivity readers too. Um, and they're releasing a new book in January. They have two books that they're working on. Um, I'm really excited to read that. Right now, we're planning to read it with the club, probably in October, maybe, because it's a scary. Yes, Secrets Don't Stay Buried. It's like a scary book. Um, Horror kind of book. I don't know. Hopefully not that scary. Um, the Nia Arthur's books, she has two, The Right Sign and A Prickly Romance is both of those. Mhm. Both of those have deaf characters, and actually they do really well. They're not bad representation. When we started the book club, we were reading that book, The Right Sign, and we were like, wow, this is amazing representation. We've never seen this before. The funny thing is we started the book club, we started reviewing and like really analyzing books for representation and seeing what we didn't like, what we liked, what was the best way. And then we read the book again. And we do see it's because we have grown, and since we've read better books that show good writing and understand that it's well written, it's not like, oh, it's criticized now. No, no, no. It's just like, okay, it's not bad. But before I was like, oh, this is awesome. And now we're like, I feel like, there's more representation in this book, but it's fine. So it's just very interesting because that book specifically, one guy, like the man, hired 5 interpreters for one afternoon. And we were like, wait, what? That was sweet, but why 5 interpreters? The other deaf clients might need an interpreter. And it was one person who was deaf. It was not like a conference or anything like that, like when it was going to be a lot of like presentations and you needed to change out. Like, no, it was a lunch. 5 interpreters. Maybe he thought I need a 5 interpreters to say which one she likes better. Maybe we don't know. But the author did really well and got sensitivity readers, if I remember reading the note right. So that was a good one. There's a lot. So anyways, there's some. So again, we're probably not going to do it live next week. Well, you have a birthday on Wednesday night. I have a birthday Thursday night. with our kids, and kids start school Thursday. So we're gonna, yeah, do a different next, the 14th? No, 13th, the 13th. 13th. August 13th is a Wednesday. And we're reading this one. Yeah, 13th. So, Hunting Sirens by Mary Meacham. We will do 1 to 8. We'll probably discuss on Discord if we want to do more than that. I do think that we'll probably try, and Desi, after this, I will just call you. To do an interview with Effie, maybe like a Friday night or a Saturday night. Not, maybe not the normal Wednesday night. But yeah, we can figure things out. So any last minute questions? Olivia, hi. Please, if you need any recommendations for your library, let us know. Or, the full list will be great to have. I'm just kidding. That's really exciting, and having learning ASL will help. Oh, because maybe you could do an ASL story time for the kids. That would be really fun to start one at your library where you have the kids do 1 or 2 words in the book and then sign the book too, but have them do 1 or 2 words with you. That would be really fun and cute. Yeah, cute. So if you want to join us on Discord, the links are there. Oh, I always want to read something that has had deaths, or not death, but sensitivity readers for whatever I'm reading. So if it is LGBTQIA, I want to see that they've had a sensitivity reader. Or if it is autistic or whatever, that they've had sensitivity readers, because it makes me feel like the book has good representation. So I agree with that. You don't have to be deaf to want to have good representation. That is an amazing thing to use it for. Yes, absolutely. Um, and it really will help you. When you can't speak, if you can still communicate in sign, that will help you. Even a few words. You're welcome. If you want to reach out to us, we'll be happy to give you, on the website we do have some ASL resources, sorry. So if you have any questions, you can reach out, or we do have a lot of resources that we have open. Yes, and we have resources on the Discord too. It's, I think it's literally called ASL Resources. That sounds good. And Olivia, if you want to reach out, we can, if you have any questions about how you would start, what would be good ones, we have a few books that would be good to start with that. But yeah, we'd be happy to chat. Okay. Any more last minute questions? Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so we're gonna say good night for now. We'll be back probably not next week, but soon, 13th. Yeah. And reach out. Would be happy to talk. If you haven't, if you don't know what next book we're reading Hunting Sirens by Mary Meacham. It's on Kindle Unlimited, and they have paperback, audiobook, yes. Um, and not just Kindle Unlimited. You can do it like a normal ebook, like a, not email, an ebook. So you can buy it. Okay, well, happy Wednesday night, happy reading, and happy signing. Good night. Bye.